The 56 in your conscious core essence or in your personality sun. Here we have the wanderer or stimulation. We have the right angle cross of laws. We have the juxtaposition cross of stimulation. And we have the left angle cross of distraction. So here when we are looking at the second variation of the right angle cross of laws. In the first variation, we were looking at it through the lens of the third gate, which is really a mutative law, because that's what individualism brings to us, is mutation. But here we're looking at it through the lens of the 56. And when we look at the 56, it's pointing towards the 11. So what we're looking at here is the idealism, the stimulation of laws based off of idealism. There's a metamorphic process that's very abstract here. It's about I believe. This is the voice of hope and despair. The 56 is always telling a story. It's telling a parable. It's retelling an experience. It's very spellbinding. The 62, on the other hand, which we just saw, it's detail-oriented. It can get quite dry with the facts, and it can obscure things with the facts as well. So when we look over here, the 56 politician doesn't talk about facts. He talks about the dream. So here when we look at this right angle cross of laws, and as I said, the left angle cross of obscuration in the last video was that politician. Here we have that politician that is selling you the dream. We're going to have a great country. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. But he never gives you details on how any of this stuff is going to get done. It's just idealistic. So these laws are very idealistic. He stimulates you and gets you to go for his idealistic rules and structure, and he tells you a story. So these are the dream sellers. This is one of the things to recognize, that when you get sold a dream law, you might wake up in a horror story. When we take a look at, for example, Marxism, Marxist dreams, that was 3 generations that fell for that, and poof, it didn't turn out so well. So we have to be very, very aware of idealistic laws that get passed and all these promises that can happen here. Again, we do have the 3 in the 60, so it's very mutative. These idealisms are mutative laws that come in. Now, good, bad, right, wrong doesn't matter. We just have to see it. We have to be able to recognize that this stimulation may or may not be good for society, because there isn't anything logical that happens here in this particular right angle cross of laws. Juxtaposition cross of stimulation, you get to somebody who is fixed on stimulation. They are a stimulation junkie. And now we move from having the 3 and the 50 underneath to having the 27 and the 28. And we've seen the 27 and the 28 before. This is nourishment. This is caring. This is risk-taking. So someone on this cross who can't find anybody to stimulate can go nuts. They need to be telling their story. They need to be getting it out, stimulating other people. The best way to explain things is through their own experience. So they tell you their own story. They tell you their own parable. And that's really how they get out their own truth. And it sounds very risky to others. It sounds very nurturing to others as well. So they will go to extremes, taking extreme risks in order to find something or someone that they can tell their story to, or where they can have some excitement and tell that story. So the left angle cross of distraction, these are the great distraction makers. So somebody comes up to you and is telling you something very important, and poof, this left angle cross of distraction comes along and interrupts all of that. So you never actually get to hear the other person because you have been distracted. Now, I'm recording this in the year 2020, and the distractions in our world today are beyond unbelievable. So these people can be magical. They can distract us from things that are good for us, but they can also distract us from things that are good for us. So you're at a cocktail party, for example, where all kinds of conversations are going on and suddenly everybody is listening to one conversation. That can also be the power of distraction. So we see somebody who, for me, I see another political aspect here where all of a sudden they are distracting everybody to look at them. So it can distract you, which can get you into a lot of trouble. So that's where we want to be able to pay attention to our own intuition, because the 28 becomes our basis of intuition, and know what attention we need to be providing that stimulating story. So these are the forces that have the power to break you out or pull you into their thing. So it all depends on really on your ability to hone in on your own truth, because the left angle cross of distraction, it is all over our world. It is happening. These are the beings that are totally distracting us. Now, again, if this is you, that's what you're designed to do. You're designed to distract people based off of a stimulating story. So the fact that they distract others means that they are always distracted themselves as well. And it's not good, bad, right, wrong. So how do you make money here? I see a lot of political stuff happening here. Just like I saw in the 60-second gate. The 50-second gate is really political. It talks, and there's a lot about laws. There's a lot about, stimulation and distraction. That's really what our political realm does for us. And then laws can be passed underneath the carpet while people are absolutely distracted. So let's play around with this in our coaching calls and have fun.